I am going to put on some press-on nails with just regular old glue because these are white. The light can't cure through it. First thing I'm going to do is I've sized them out, the ones that I need, and then I'm going to take my little sanding band and come in here and file the inside because, as you can see, they're shiny and smooth on the inside. Next thing I'm going to do, because I've already done that to all of them, is I'm going to clean them out with some alcohol. I don't have to worry about them turning white because they're already white. So I want to clear all that dust from out the inside of it. And as we've been told several times, my pointer and my ring finger are the same size, so I had to take 2 of these off another strip of these. And I found these tips on Shein, and believe it or not, the cuticles even fit nicely because they're not squared, they're rounded, so they fit in the cuticle nicely. I found with these tips, if I don't do too much to them, once I put them on, you can't even tell that they're press-ons, and you don't have to file around the cuticle or anything with them. So what I will do is I'm going to add a peel-off base coat after I do dehydrator and primer, because I do want them to stay for a little while. I'm going to wipe my fingernails off with some alcohol. I've already buffed them. I like to double dehydrate. I'm going to add my nail dehydrator. I like them good and dry. Do it to all of them because the longer I keep this bottle open, the more of it's dehydrating. And you pay the money for a dehydrator to just let it evaporate in the thin air. I'd like to use it. Then I'm going to take my protein bond, and yes, I'm going to put on all the nails. I want them dry around the same time so I can go ahead and put my base coat on, which I'm using a gel base coat. You can scrub this in, but it's not that serious with this set because I will be taking them off in about a week or so. They're a temporary set. I just wanted a pair of short nails for a change. I hardly ever wear short nails. You don't have to be super precise with this. They kind of absorb into the nail plate. This Young Nails protein bond. So I like to just kind of go around the sides to try to prevent lifting as much as possible. And yes, I know, peel off base coat in this, why would you? Because with the Jello, if you go ahead and do this, they won't come off until you're ready for them to come off. And this is the best protein primer bond that I've ever had. And this is the best dehydrator I've ever had. Together, they work great, especially for hard gel. So let that dry on my left hand while I'm applying to my right. By the time I'm done curing this, I should be able to apply it to the other hand. Now I just want a thin layer of this because I want the nails to fit properly. my finger quit jumping like it's on drugs. It doesn't need to be super thin, but you don't want it super thick either. It makes your nail thicker, which in turn means the nail tip has to be bigger and it doesn't come out looking right. You want to try to avoid hitting the skin with this. It's still gel. You get gel on the skin and it causes lifting. So back where you saw me hit the other one, I'm gonna wipe that off. Now I'm gonna cure this for 60 seconds. Come back and do the other hand. All right, that one's cured. Now I'm gonna do this one. Now this thumb has the most rough terrain because I really tore it up. So it's thick back here, thinner up here. That's why I'm going for the shorter nails right now. They're too thin to just leave on their own. They're too rough looking to just put a gel over it. Now I'm going to cure this for 60 seconds and come back. Okay, now I'm going to take a lint-free wipe. I'm going to wipe off the tacky layer from the peel-off base coat. Alright. Now I have Kiss brush on nail glue. I suppose just about any glue will do, especially if you're not planning on wearing them for a long period of time. So I'm going to take the nails off of the strip and lay them out so that I can just readily grab them. What did I do? Something is wrong here. The two. Okay. These are in the wrong place. And then the pinky. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the brush on gel glue, nail glue, not gel. I'm going to brush it on my finger first. then I'm going to take the nail I intend on putting on that finger and brush some gel in here. And then you're going to take it, I'm going to push all the way to the cuticle, push all the way down, make sure it's even here, and just hold it down. That's it. You don't have to go slow because it's not an abundance of glue under there. Although it probably should be, huh? But too late. It's already on there. Oh, I got it on there wrong anyway. That's alright, it's gonna stay. I'm gonna do the same with the rest of the nails. On my regular nail. And on the nail tip. Push it all the way to the cuticle again. Push it down. And hold it down. I'm going to do this with the rest of them and come back. Now you see how natural they look when you get them on the cuticle right? I haven't touched them with a file. It just looks like that's the way it's supposed to be. Which is crazy. But some of them I didn't quite get up far enough, so I will have to go in with a file. But for the most part, when I do get these rigged, they're perfect. They sit perfectly. Now I'm gonna have to clean these up, file off the tips, and the ones that didn't come out like this, I will have to finesse a little, and that's fine. I planned on putting a builder gel on them after I did my design, so I would have had to file that up. But if you just want some plain white nails, just run and go, these are good. And I'm gonna put the link up there if I can find them. They had them in black, but the blacks didn't have sizes as big. They were like, this was the biggest size they had. So let's go ahead and file the nubs off. The file here. And I want to get this even because it kind of rounded. I don't want them rounded like that. I want them more like that. See how they're rounded? That's why I filed them flat. So that takes care of the nub and the shape. And since the tip is white all the way through, it's no problem. You're not filing off any color. I'm gonna finish this and I'll come back. Now I'm gonna taper these tips in a little bit. Because as we know, I have big fingers, a big nail bed, so I want to give them the appearance of being a little slimmer. taper them in, taper them in. Honestly, they look better tapered in because they're short, but they're not short enough to be just straight square anyway. They got a little bit of length to them. Unless, of course, you want them shorter, and of course you can just clip them down and file them down. Now I'm going to go around the cuticles. With a fresh sanding band. It's a 240 grit sanding band. Put on six ought to do it. Don't want it too bad. Just gonna go around all the cuticle. Bring it down some. You see that just defines the cuticle there. Like I said, these tips are very easy to not have to clean up at all. I guess I rushed it. So I've worn them several times before. Didn't have to do anything like that one. Looks like it needs nothing. Because it probably doesn't. But if you're gonna add polish to these tips, gel, hard gel, anything to them, honestly, you're gonna have to do this. Because once you add a gel to it, then it just looks like they're sitting on top of your finger. They don't look cohesive at all. Not cohesive, natural. They look like a big block sitting on top of it. I'm going to do the same to this side. This is the one I got on there, a little crooked. Just a little. Crooked enough you can kind of see the side here. And there's no glue up under there. So these will probably, like I said, last me a week max. Because water's going to get up under that one for sure. And I don't want the greenies on top of tore up nail bases. I'm gonna finish this up and come back. Now I'm gonna take a buffer because where we've done all that filing, you got this, you know, little plastic pieces hanging off. And I don't want to keep filing the nails. So I will buff the extra plastic off. That nail is not tapered right. And I have rounded the edges. As short as it may be, these edges get sharp. I suppose you could take your drill to this. I don't see a reason to for me. If they were longer, maybe. This does just fine by itself. Now, if you're going to put something on top of it, even a top coat. Something I forgot to mention in my cheap press-on video. You're gonna want to buff the surface. You just do. You want your gel to adhere, you're gonna need to do that. So, when you buff the surface, make sure you get the entire nail. And make sure you dust it off real good. I'm going to wipe these with an alcohol drenched lint-free wipe, mainly because they're white, it's not going to show up. Take the same buffer. I'm just going to buff over that shiny top. Because these are shiny, that's why I say buff them. You're not going to take the color off them because they're white through and through. These are just plastic nail tips. They're not gel. Now, another thing you could do is take a primer and go over it, but I don't see a need for all of that. You could probably also hit it with a light amount of acetone, but again, I don't see the need for it when you just quickly buff it. The only reason I'm painting these is because I don't want just white nails. Only thing I like just white nails on is my toes sometimes, and one time I had somewhere to be and my nails looked atrocious and I threw these on. That'd be about it. So again, I'm going to dust these off, top and bottom probably because of all the filing I just did on them. Wipe them down. Make sure I get all the dust off of them, especially around cuticles. Now, since these are just plastic tips, if you don't use the peel off base coat, you can always just soak them off with acetone. They'll melt right off. It might take, 15-20 minutes, but they'll just melt off. And then it can take the glue off too. I just prefer the peelable base coat because then I can use the remover and peel them right off. No big deal. I don't have to sit there and soak them like that. Keep peeling and all that crap. I don't want to do all that. Just slip a cuticle, an orange stick right up under it. Be done with it. So now I'm going to figure out the design. But that is how I put them on. Now you can always put a base coat on here. It just adds another layer. Like I said, I'm not keeping these on long, so I don't see a need for all that. But now you know how I put on my cheap little press-on nails. And I'll do another video of me decorating them. And I will be putting a builder gel over them to toughen them. Although when they're this short, you don't really need it. They're longish, but they're not long. So for stability, you don't really need it. It's just if you feel like it. And even on these shorter nails, I would put the builder gel on and turn them upside down to have the apex come where it's supposed to be. So please like, share, comment, subscribe. Have a wonderful day, month, week, year. And thank you for coming in. Bye, my bodies. Okay, so here's what I ended up painting them like. And the whole time I was doing it, I thought I was recording. So sorry you didn't get to see the painting. All it is cat eye over black with the raindrop top coat from Born Pretty. Sorry. But here it is. Bye, hotties.